Welcome to session 5 of electrostatics and physics. This is a very important session because we will use all the concepts what we have learned in the previous sessions. Okay? First we shall take up Gauss law, then we shall take up its applications. Gauss law deals about electric flux. Okay? It states that the total electric flux, total means summation, the total electric flux through a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon times the total charge enclosed by the surface. Understand very clearly? Gauss law is applicable only for closed surfaces. What charge we have to consider? The charge enclosed by the surface. Till now, we learned two very important laws. One is Coulomb's law, another one is now what we have introduced, Gauss law. Okay? These two laws are complement of each other. By considering Gauss law, we can derive Coulomb's law. By considering Coulomb's law, we can derive Gauss law. That is why they are called complement. Knowing one angle, we can find the other. Similarly, knowing one, we can derive other. First, we shall derive Gauss law using Coulomb's law. Okay? Consider a point charge Q at O. Let P be any point at a distance R from this charge. Now, to apply Gauss law, assume a Gaussian cylindrical, circular, spherical surface. Okay, with O as center passing through P like this ball. The Gaussian surface is like this. Let ds be a small area around P. Okay, at P, the electric intensity is like this. You see, electric field is like this. The normal is also like that, in the same direction. That is why theta is 0 degree. Is it? Theta is 0 degree, cos 0 is 1. The electric flux through this ds surface, through this area is E ds into cos 0 degree. The total electric flux, the total means through this ds, through this, the total electric flux through the entire Gaussian surface. Whatever the flux the charge gives should pass through in any one direction, pass through any one area of this spherical surface. That is why it is total. Okay? Total solid angle. The total electric flux through this surface is given by E is same at all these points because the surface is at same distance and is normal to the surface at all points. Theta is 0 at all points. Therefore, E can be taken out of the summation ds, and summation ds is nothing but the surface area of this Gaussian sphere. The surface area of a sphere is given by 4 pi into radius square, 4 pi r square. So this gives the total electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface. Now, from Coulomb's law, we know that electric intensity at this point is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. This much. If we substitute for E in this, the total electric flux is given by 4 pi goes with this, r square goes with this, is given by 1 by epsilon times the charge enclosed. Therefore, using Coulomb's law, we have deduced Gauss law. What does Gauss law say? The total electric flux through a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon times the charge enclosed. Okay? Similarly, now by using Gauss law, we shall deduce Coulomb's law. We know that from Gauss law, summation d pi equals 1 by epsilon naught times the charge. If we substitute for the total electric flux what we have calculated here, then if we simplify, we will get E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Okay? If you place a charge q naught here, the force on this charge q naught due to this charge and test charge due to source charge is given by F equals q naught E. If we substitute for E, we will get 1 by F equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by r square. This is nothing but Coulomb's law. Okay? You can deduce one law using the other. One is the complement of the other. But understand clearly, Coulomb's law is applicable only for point charges. Gauss law is applicable both for point charges and distribution of charges. Therefore, Gauss law is more fundamental